Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Rovi, and Mscribe, and today we're going to be talking about TRAC systems, TAP protocol,
and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And the context of how this all manifests into some interesting things that I think a lot of people haven't really been talking about much. Bitcoin DeFi, for example. A
Taproot swap.
Yeah, like it is all the cool things that a lot of people are experiencing, like on Solana or on Base and Ethereum. You know, when you go to these decentralized exchanges and you're able to seamlessly swap from one token to another.
Yes.
You know, contingent on like a good enough pool liquidity for these token pairs, then yeah, that's the user experience like people seem to adore at the current moment, right?
Yeah, I guess the only context to be aware of is that the ordinal ecosystem is about 2 years old.
Yeah.
And so I guess you could consider that the development within the Bitcoin ecosystem is sort of speed running what has transpired over several years of development on Ethereum and Solana and Cardano.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we witnessed that speed run in real time when we're, because we've been actively developing in this ecosystem since basically the beginning.
Yeah.
Maybe like 1.5 years actually. So it's like a 6 month of us kind of like understanding what the space was becoming.
Yeah, that's true.
And then like at that point it was like, okay, we found our entry of like how to contribute.
Yeah.
Specifically around the metaverse and now like this DMT angle of things. And
yeah.
But all of that fundamentally supported by what we're about to talk about, TAP and TRAC Network.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, so let's take a look at this first tweet. It says, Bitcoin Memecoins for the win. You can finally trade on L1 with automated market makers and liquidity pools and receive ordinal native LP tokens. You can also launch and mint via Telegram. So Bitcoin DEX is Taproot Swap and is powered by TAP Protocol. There's a thread here. Let's watch this video, though.
Okay.
True DeFi has just landed on L1 Bitcoin. Get ready to trade and earn with AMMs and liquidity pools on TAP Protocol. Until now, swapping tokens on Bitcoin has been both risky, with users having to place their trust in bridges, and expensive, with middlemen always taking their cut in fees. But it doesn't have to be like this. Introducing automated market makers, true liquidity pools, and swaps directly on Layer 1 Bitcoin, and with TAP token integration. No need to bridge to any L2s, no middlemen taking your sats. Just direct peer-to-peer swaps with low fees. And on TAP, liquidity providers earn passively by sharing in the 0.6% pool fees for each pool they fund, so swappers gain access to truly liquid token pairs. Uniswap has previously reached a TVL of over $10 billion, and Ethereum's market cap is only $500 billion. So with Bitcoin's current market cap around $2 trillion, the opportunities that AMMs on Bitcoin unlock are huge. No more buying token bundles like their NFTs. No more illiquid markets with unnecessary friction and complexity. No more middlemen inserting themselves in your transactions. No Layer 2 wallets or wallet switches are needed. No more moving TVL from Bitcoin to L2s. Keep the value locked where it belongs on L1. Welcome to True Bitcoin DeFi. Welcome to automated market makers on TAP Protocol.
Damn, dude.
What a great video.
Such a great video.
Yeah, so let's break that down if we can.
Yeah, so basically you are able to supply liquidity into a pool, and as you supply liquidity and as transactions occur in that liquidity, you get 0.6% of the transaction fees in respect to the LP tokens that you get. So if you are 10% of a pool, then you get 10% of the 0.6% of the volume that gets there.
Yeah, so this is how the automated market making process works.
Yep.
Yeah, pioneered basically last cycle during the DeFi renaissance on Ethereum. Now is like a main staple essentially on every single chain, and including Solana, which is why you see, this like DEX environment seems to have like a lot of strength.
Probably more strength than like centralized exchanges.
Feels like it's definitely getting to that point.
Yeah, because to be on a DEX is just a matter of like functions, not a matter of political pull.
Yeah,
and money and like briefcase money.
100%. Yeah, this is the more desirable ecosystem for crypto, right?
It's native crypto, right? Centralized exchanges is not native crypto. That is just a different kind of service, a valuable service, but a different one.
Yeah, it was definitely necessary to kind of like get things off the ground, but crypto's future is definitely in, I think, more optimal hands. in this like distributed slash permissionless like process, right?
Yeah.
And so the context is, there's a Bitcoin ecosystem emerging. There are different token protocols, essentially. TAP having its own, mechanism of generating their own fungible tokens on Bitcoin using TAP. So in order for these tokens to have like the same type of velocity, the same type of market viability tokens on like other chains have, we need this like liquidity layer to exist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's what a lot of these other applications on different chains, like let's say Pump.Fun, they've automated that process, right? If you reach some sort of market cap, they supply liquidity automatically, and the token has what they call, I think, viability or whatever.
What?
Yeah. Once it reaches that market cap.
The whole bonding.
Yeah, the bonding
process?
curve. Yeah. Yeah. So once they supply that liquidity, then people can, purchase against that liquidity up and down, right? As we all know.
Yeah, so there's quite the, I guess, debate within the Bitcoin ecosystem of like, what is the right and wrong way to go about facilitating this like liquidity onboarding for Bitcoin native assets, right?
Right. And so this is like, so the DEX needs to exist first before there's an app that automates that liquidity provisioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like we've seen with Pump.Fun, right? You can't do Pump.Fun without Radium.
Right.
Right. So there needs to be that funnel, right? So just having the DEX is like step one. Now you need an app that really funnels liquidity.
Yeah, that is what the killer product of Pump.Fun has done, right? It's leveraging those existing DEX environments, creating that market viability process, and then porting and seeding like liquidity there as a result of like determining viability. So definitely on the way, but I guess like, I don't know, like what is the grand takeaway of like understanding this? Because there's a lot of complexity as far as, if you're new to the Bitcoin ecosystem, understanding what the current state of it is.
Yeah.
It's not easy, right? Because there's multiple attempts kind of happening at once, right? You got like Runes, another token protocol created by the creator of Ordinals, right? But that ecosystem kind of like also stagnant because it's suffering from the same problems, right? Like, how do we get liquidity for these tokens?
Yeah.
BRC20s, the original token protocol on Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
This came before TAP and Runes.
Yeah.
At one point had what seemed at the time like plenty of liquidity, right? Mostly because of its novelty as like the first iteration of fungibility on Bitcoin, at least in the modern era. Yeah. And it attracted a lot of attention. This was like during the peak of a bear market where not much else was going on, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was $1 billion ecosystem in about like less than 4 weeks after we discovered it.
Yeah, and then quickly like Binance latched onto it and started, basically doing what sexes do, like bringing liquidity to some of these tokens, only like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
And so during that time period, there wasn't that much of pressure. It was more like the focus of the ecosystems. Like, we just need to get more tokens to sex listings, right?
Yeah.
That's what the top Runes tokens are trying to do, like Dog and, $1 billion cat, whatever. It's like, we just need to like get in there. But like you're saying, there's a lot of gatekeeping going on, right?
Yeah. Essentially deliver a briefcase full of cash and we'll list it, but maybe that's not all that's needed, right? There's like integrations and like ordinal like client integration that they have to do. And so it could be a lot of friction from a technical sense as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the back of our mind, it's always like the DEX was always the better like solution. And, we knew Benny and the TAP and TRAC team has been working on it. So I mean, to a lot of people is probably surprised because we listen in on some of these Twitter spaces. They talk about the desire for like some sort of Bitcoin native DEX environment. Shocker, it exists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right. So looking at the next tweet, it says by TRAC, now that we've achieved good transaction speed and a working consensus, see below, checksum means all peers are on the same page. We'd like to ask you what AI model the upcoming TRAC Network demo should be using. See the poll on the follow-up reply. So this is supposed to be a video, right?
I think it was like a GIF, and maybe it was a video, but this is definitely not the video.
Yeah, this is not the speed video. So it looks like people want DeepSeek, dude.
So what? of course, everybody wants DeepSeek now.
Yeah.
It's like it is the talk of the town in context of LLMs. But I think what the TRAC team here is trying to signal is like, I guess the functional capacity of their network, right?
Yeah.
Is to be able to host an LLM native to the TRAC network, right? So
yeah, I'm trying to find that video. Oh, wait, here it is.
Yeah, this is it. This is the tweet they put out. Got everybody's like eyeballs peaked, right?
Yeah, so it looks like we're starting with a solid 1,000 transactions per second on the upcoming TRAC network with plenty of room for improvements. TRAC becoming the gas token will finally unify what belongs together. TAP protocol validation, the first utility.
Yeah, so TRAC is has been around as long as BRC20s. You go back to our early videos when TRAC was like...
Well, TRAC is a BRC20.
Yeah, it was like a 300,000 market cap coin. We were doing our fundamental analysis during the BRC20 days, trying to find somebody trying to build some infrastructure, right? As we like to do. It's kind of like when we go out and look at the AI landscape, you know, projects like Cookie DAO and other infrastructure projects like News Research, you know, any of these AI agent frameworks, like we tend to gravitate towards like platform and infrastructure, right? Because, you know, from a developer perspective, like these are fundamental requirements in order to like produce anything tangibly good, right? Now that's just us. Of course, there's another corner of the market. They're not looking for any of that. They just want to speculate on something that's funny or something you know, that has cultural relevance for the now.
Yeah,
right?
A dead squirrel.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
Well, that's not so much funny, but
no, it's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, actually.
But it mooned.
Did moon.
That's all that matters, man.
Yeah, so if you don't know what those are called meme coins, right?
Yeah.
So there's a market for that too.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, moving on. It says, yeah, I guess, what was this link?
What do you mean? What are you looking for?
Oh, well, the next tab here. All right, let's go to the TAP protocol. It says bridge your USDT on Bitcoin. You can now bridge USDT to Bitcoin, bridge provided by Taproot Swap. So, dude, another primitive, right? Stable coins on Bitcoin. So, so basically on Taproot Swap, you can swap between any TAP token, but into a stable coin within the same ecosystem. Yeah, so this is another primitive that a lot of projects are kind of looking for within the Bitcoin ecosystem. So it's already here.
Yeah, so signs of progress, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, because this is a 2-year-old ecosystem, you kind of need these things, right? You need the DEX, you need stable coins, and you need an ability to kind of frictionlessly move in and out. And so kind of like the caveat to this is because it's on Bitcoin, these transactions are all L1 transactions, and therefore you do have to wait the 10 minutes, right? Or at least the 10 minutes for the Bitcoin block to mine. So ultimately, but nonetheless, if you wanted to stick within the Bitcoin ecosystem, the options are there.
Right.
Yeah. So, and this is what Taproot Swap looks like, and yeah, taprootswap.com, and it's the same UI everyone's familiar with, swap tokens.
Yeah, same UI, just a little bit of a different experience, right?
Yeah.
Like part of the trade-offs of interacting with the Bitcoin blockchain, right? Which, you know, has its charms and, you know, difficulties at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? It's definitely, you're not going to have a Solana level experience on Bitcoin, right? But there's a different like value proposition for assets being created there.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin being added to the National Reserve for a strategic stockpile.
Yeah, that's really the underlying like thesis to all of this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like visualized in that video.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to it and
yeah, because
right
we've talked about this a lot on our channel. It's like, yeah, to us, this is the underlying opportunity. You know, and again, the motivation to build anything on Bitcoin is, you know, because there is an ability to build something on Bitcoin, like an ecosystem. Actually, yeah, things function differently than they do like on an EVM chain.
Yeah,
this is much more of like a meta protocol space. You know, it's much more, it's a little different, right? A lot more off-chain processing happening, and you know, indexer validations. This is why TRAC is such a valuable component to all that, right?
Yeah. So, you know, right now Bitcoin is worth $2 trillion, but once Bitcoin's worth 20 trillion, right, the same market cap roughly as gold, right, 2% of that, which is what's happening here, you're talking about $200 billion.
Yeah.
Right. And so, that is the opportunity. That's why there's so much activity and interest in the Bitcoin ecosystem, because if you can unlock that and do DeFi within Bitcoin, talking about a ton of money.
Yeah, it's not just, it's DeFi, of course, that's the necessary primitive, but it's building the right products also, I guess, that rely on this DeFi infrastructure, right? Which, again, like the DeFi TVL of Solana is probably huge because all these DEXs that are hosting the activity of this killer product, which is meme coinery, right?
Yep.
All these tokens need that DeFi infrastructure support. So I think there is a little bit of like we're in that territory where, okay, TAP is providing all this infrastructure. We got stable coins. Now there's decentralized exchange functionality, now part of Bitcoin. And even like the ability to port in between chains, right? So Ethereum and I think the next announcement here is Tron.
Yeah, so the Tron bridge to Bitcoin via TAP protocol has been activated. We're looking forward to welcoming the Tron DAO community to Bitcoin through TAP soon.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, so I'm curious to see like what is the in and outflows of Tron from Bitcoin, right? I mean, I understand the Ethereum one. Like, it's
Ethereum, right?
Ethereum, right? We've already seen it. Like, now you're bringing like Ethereum.
Yeah, I don't know.
And stable coins into the Bitcoin ecosystem.
I don't know what sort of activity is happening on Tron, but I assume there's some activity.
Right. Yeah, but from our point of view, I think the next bridge should be Solana.
Solana, yeah. That's because that's where the activity is.
Yeah, there's a lot of flow of value that could be
siphoned,
facilitated,
directed,
siphoned. Those are two different interpretations of like TAP's bridge. You're taking. I think we're facilitating. It's like we build a road. Dude.
Yeah, access to the Bitcoin ecosystem versus like onboarding to the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So it depends on your perspective.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's like there's a sea over here. That's Solana, right? Look it up. Go on DEX Screener. It's like daily they're doing like 20 billion in volume or something.
Yeah.
And then here's little old Bitcoin ecosystem, dude. Probably like not even like $1 million collectively in any kind of like volume capacity.
Yeah.
So all you're doing is like poking a hole in that balloon on Solana.
Yeah.
Imagine it's like a cell or something, or balloon.
Yeah.
Water balloon. And like you're making sure that water trickles straight to this little hole over here on Bitcoin.
Such a vivid imagination, dude.
It's fucking
really
wonderful,
thought that one through.
Yeah.
That's what I get for playing with my toys when I was a kid, dude. I could really.
Is that what you did?
Did you not?
Poked holes and stuff?
Did you not? You weren't poking holes in things when you were a kid, dude?
Sure.
You waited till you were an adult to start doing that, didn't you? Start poking holes. All right. Well, yeah, dude, that's how I imagine it, right? Just poke the hole and let some of that liquidity flow.
Yeah, let the air like deflate over there a little bit.
But but it's not really deflating. It's just moving somewhere else, and then we can always push it back, and then do all that, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, someone can do that animation.
Imagine that B-roll.
Yeah.
It's like an actual visualized dude. Yeah, where's AI when you need it, right?
It's everywhere.
That's true.
All right, TAP Protocol has partnered with Definity. So this was an announcement. This was announced a while ago, but and deliver Bitcoin native smart contracts by leveraging L1s like ICP as a co-processor.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new term for people.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not. I think it's actually like a.
Well, co-processor typically is for computer CPU
like
chips.
Software, right?
Well,
or
hardware. CPU chips, right? Yeah. They have co-processors. Like you have a CPU, and then you have a co-processor like AI engine, or a co-processor for like generating secure hashes or secure keys, private keys. That it's a co-processor. That way, it doesn't get hacked and things like that.
Okay.
So that's typically what co-processor means. But in the case of here, you're using TAP ecosystem plus a co-processor L1 like ICP that can develop smart contracts, and you can leverage those
Right.
smart contracts to move UTXOs on Bitcoin.
Yeah, because that's another like friction point of the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? There's no native programmability
Yeah.
like there is for Ethereum, and
Correct.
Solana, all the other chains, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest problems to figure out. So it's like, okay, how do we leverage the existing infrastructure of all these other chains that have programmability and
Yes.
bring that to Bitcoin essentially? So like now these native assets on Bitcoin have functional ability.
Yeah, but ICP is interesting because they have like an inherent awareness of Bitcoin, and they have access to UTXOs because they have like a native integration to Bitcoin, and so does Cardano.
Yeah.
So Cardano, I think, is also going to be part of this, like this.
Co-processor
Yeah.
arrangement. So what does that mean actually? Like if I'm trying to build an app, a good product.
Yeah. So what you would do is you would use TAP protocol or TRAC networks, boilerplate smart contracts, which have that native integration right built in. You develop your smart contract, and whatever that smart contract is about, say the metaverse or a game or whatever, you're leveraging the smart contract functionality to manipulate UTXOs on Bitcoin. So you can use ICP, Cardano, things like that.
And I don't have to like spend any like native token from those chains in order to like execute on that.
Well, it depends, because these chains are sort of like they're developer centric. The developers tend to pay the gas fees on those chains.
I see.
And so it really depends on how you want to set it up.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So yeah, this is what I mean by gray territories. Like all this infrastructure setup, literally like the biggest alley-oop of all time. Like, you know, Benny has set up a lot of tools to be used, right? Now, so now to get past this gray territory, who's going to actually put them all together, put them to good use?
Yeah, you got to put the pieces together.
Put the pieces together and build like an actual desirable product, right? And we think the optimal version of that is doing something native to Bitcoin, right? Which is what DMT represents.
That's right.
You can't do this on other chains. So we're leveraging all this, you know, technical functionality to our benefit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's an article, Hacker Noon, says TAP protocol and ICP empower Bitcoin with decentralized finance at its core. And so it goes a little bit into co-processing in here, but it breaks down kind of like the collaboration and the technical requirements that occurs here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So all the links will be in the description. And finally, well, you know, how does this culminate? Like here it is, Tapify. It's on Bitcoin. It's the TAP token, and fully diluted is 31 million. I don't have the market cap here, but it's it's an opportunity. This is when you want to buy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when the whole market economy is, again, fixated on an infrastructure layer like Solana that's spent 4 or 5 years essentially in development to get to the point where like now they have product market fit.
Yeah, correct.
Bitcoin ecosystem. So go look at the chart actually, like of like Solana's TVL or something, and you
on DEX.
Yeah, like on
DeFi Llama.
Like it kind of paints the picture of exactly what I'm talking about, like where the Bitcoin ecosystem is. If you find like Solana and just look at the all time, is that it?
Yeah, is this all time? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like see that like lull?
Yeah, right here.
It looks very similar, right? To like the chart we just saw.
FTX somewhere here. And it's just bleeding and then nothing.
Yeah, this is like, okay, you know, infrastructure, right? Build all this out. This is the gray territory we're talking about. This is what, you know, not just the TAP team, but the entire Bitcoin ecosystem is like in infrastructure builder mode right now. Like that's why you see nothing happening just about in like Runes and BRC20s and even in the TAP ecosystem.
Yeah, this is how it works, right? You're not going to have this always go up.
No.
Right? Nothing has ever done that.
Yeah, we had our up moment, you know, during 2023. Right? So now it's like, okay, down 2024 and then build.
Yeah. And profits.
That's the expectation, right? That's the opportunity we're kind of alluding to. It's like that's what you want to do in these markets. Try and find something that's being overlooked.
Yeah.
And that's definitely the Bitcoin ecosystem space. Like probably the most overlooked opportunity, especially in context of that giant fucking $2 trillion column.
Yeah.
Or whatever that.
Yeah, this thing here.
Yeah, that thing. That is a giant.
That's quite the column, dude.
That's a big column.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who knows how big the Bitcoin TVL will end up? I mean, that's kind of like the experiment of it all, right?
Yeah. All right, that's it for us. If you have any questions on the TAP ecosystem, we are TAP builders. We've been builders in the TAP ecosystem for quite some time, like 2 years or something like that.
Correct.
So if you have any questions about the TAP space, let us know in the comment section below. And appreciate you guys. If you find anything you want us to talk about, also comment below because we like researching the stuff.
Yeah, we're going to get back some AI content next week for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you guys want to see based AI.
Yeah, that's right.
Pippin,
yeah.
And updates on Cookie DAO, all that stuff, right? So yeah, we're going to get that cranked out for you guys.
All right, appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.